By combining Seedance 2 and Nano Banana 2, we can create videos just like this, with dynamic movement and precise animation. So, today I'm going to share some very dynamic shots that you can create by leveraging these two tools, starting off with the start and end frame techniques. Now I'm going to cover a whole bunch of really dynamic shots that you can create using Nano Banana 2 and Seedance 2. To start off with, I'll show you how to use these tools right within Dzine AI as they've sponsored this video, and there's a link in the description below. So starting with the basics, we have a new project here in Dzine. Now, if I want to start using Nano Banana 2, I come down here to the little AI image section, and you can switch between video, motion, and AI images here. We can come down to where it says Nano Banana Pro. It may say something else. We have a whole bunch of image models. We choose Nano Banana 2, and in its most basic format, we can simply type up what we want to see. Something like a cyberpunk city built around the pyramids of Giza, photorealistic Blade Runner-inspired film screen cap. Now, that's a pretty open-ended prompt in regards to layout and the details, but to show you how this works, you put as much detail in there as you think you need to get what you want. Otherwise, we come down here to Auto, where it says 2K, and we can choose an aspect ratio. My project is at 16:9. To be on the safe side, I'll choose 16:9. We can produce up to 4K images. We only really need about 2K if we're going to start making videos. So I'll stick with 2K for now. And from there, I just simply submit. I simply click the results tab here and wait for my image to be rendered. Keeping in mind, if you want a few options, you can submit it a couple more times. But after a bit of time, our images are now ready. And as you can see, they all have a pretty cool aesthetic to them. They have that cool sort of like almost dystopian future feel to them with the rain, the lights. But I think I really like the first image the most. So what I'm going to do is if I want to create a video from that is over here on the right, I can come down and just simply click AI video, and it will pop it over here on the left on the AI video tab. And I can come over and choose Seedance 2. But perhaps the easiest way of working is actually to go ahead and hover over this image and add it to the canvas. Because I prefer to use the chat window down the bottom here because I think it's a bit more central, easier to follow. I click on the AI video tab and I click start, and I can choose that image because it is on my canvas. Now, we're only looking at the basics right now, but I can type in something like show a lively, bustling scene. The shot should be dynamic with the camera flying through the air, weaving around and through the pyramids to show us the city. So this is working with just a start frame, and just by actually creating something unique and describing something dynamic, that is the first method that we can follow to get a somewhat dynamic shot before we start playing with the end frames. But I come down here, we can see we have start and end frame. I can switch to something else. But otherwise, we have Seedance 2. And if that's not there, simply click on it, pick Seedance 2 from the menu, and then we have a few settings here. I can choose the aspect ratio, the size, so 720p, 1080p. Because we're using an image, it's going to match that aspect ratio at auto. That's why we can't pick another aspect ratio. Now you'll notice here 1080p uses up quite a lot of credits, 720p uses far less. So we can render in 1080p, but I'm going to leave it at 720p for now. It doesn't need to be a long shot. We can bring it down to 4 seconds or up to as long as 15 seconds. I'm going to bring it down to 4 and just create a really quick shot for us to check out based on this image. I submit. And what we get is a very dynamic shot. So straight away, you can see here get some really dynamic motion just from prompting. But coming back, we're looking at the end frame. So what we can do is simply upload another image, but I'm going to come back down here to the AI image tab, and I'm going to choose the image we have on the canvas. Because Nano Banana 2 is pretty much the world's most powerful AI image editor. So what I can do is wipe out this prompt and say something like, change the angle of the scene to be looking down from above. So we're going to look at a simple angle change before we get into some of the more dynamic shots. But also, I've added in so we can see more of the top of the pyramid and the streets. So if you're going to do an angle change, it's important to describe whether you're looking down or looking up or going to the side, a profile, and also what you want to see. So we're seeing the top of the pyramid and the streets. This is a way to really just reinforce what it is you're looking for. And then we say move some of the people and flying cars into different positions, because if there's movement in the scene, we want to make sure everything is not just simply sitting in the same position. So with that there, I'm going to submit a couple of variations. Then finally, we end up with this image, which I think looks pretty good, very straight on, and this image, a little bit more dynamic, but also a little bit more interesting. So once again, I have the AI video tab here. I click on that, And I can still say show a lively and bustling scene, but I'm going to say the shot should be dynamic with the camera. The shot should be dynamic with the camera moving up into the air to see the scene from above. Have a flying car zoom right past the camera at the end. So now what we need to do is add our end frame. So I'm actually going to add both of these to the canvas by hovering over and clicking place on canvas. And again, because I might try a video with each, I'm going to go to end. And first, I'm going to pick this one that's simply straight up and above. And you can see where we're going as our start frame to our end frame. But I'm going to make it a little bit longer. Instead of 4 seconds, I'm going to make it 6 seconds. And then I'm going to submit. And then we get a nice angle change, and then the car flies past at the end. And that was a nice simple angle change. But let's try this as the end image to see what we get. And again, we get a nice steady transition upwards, and that car flies past just as we described in the prompt. So you can see the process is simple. We want to use Nano Banana 2 to generate a start frame and potentially an end frame, or we want to edit our original start frame into an end frame. And of course, you can also upload your own images, but for the sake of this video, we're talking about Nano Banana 2 setting up these images to then use in Seedance as a start and end frame. But the first way we can get a dynamic shot is just simply by leaning on Seedance itself, by creating a prompt which describes visually what we want to see, and sometimes we may need to adjust or tweak that to get the result we're after. This can lead to a whole bunch of possibilities, and I'm going to touch on a few more right now. Now, you've seen how we can change camera angle or even zoom out, but we can also change the pose of certain characters with our start and end frame. So just like in the video I showed you then, we can actually do a few things at once. This is to change the pose and camera movement. The start frame, I just rendered a prompt of an evil samurai in front of a fire, but in the edited image for the end frame, I asked to change the angle to a high shot looking down at the samurai. Again, describing the angle, describing what we're looking down on, zoom out 50% and extend the background to fill the frame. So again, asking to zoom out, but also describing what I should see, reinforcing that movement. I changed the samurai's pose to squatting, battle ready with his sword drawn. And of course, the video prompt reflects something similar. Simply just zoom out, change the angle to look down the samurai as he gets ready for battle. Because we have that start and end frame, a lot of the information is already there. We just need to give it a rough description. And again, this is the result we get. And that's a subtle zoom and angle change, but what if we wanted a more dramatic zoom? I mentioned in the end frame I want to edit to zoom them into the man's eyes and darken the scene, so changing the lighting as well. And I can also add eyes glowing in a fiery yellow-orange, so I'm able to change the character, change the lighting, zoom in rather dramatically, and in the video prompt, I just simply described that again, but I mentioned in a single shot to avoid any cuts, because sometimes dramatic movements can be cut if you don't mention you want it in a single shot. So this is another tip when you're using start and end frames. And what we get is this. But we're getting a little bit more dynamic now because we can also create a time-lapse video. And again, I've mentioned lighting, so in order for the time-lapse to work in this sense, I'm going to go from nighttime to daytime, stopping the rain. All the neon lights are off, and I change the people and the cars in the scene. Now, I do this so that they're not in the exact same position, so there is some definite movement from the start frame to the end frame. But in the video prompt, I mentioned to create a high-speed time-lapse video showing the scene, and then I simply describe the scene should go from night to day, the rain stopping and the sun coming up. And we get this cool time-lapse video. But your imagination is really the limit here. I've also worked with some dynamic transitions. So once again, I had a photorealistic image of a yokai demon in a Japanese forest, but I wanted him to be climbing over TV. So I, in the end frame, asked for it to pop the image inside the television, but with the monster climbing out of the screen. And again, in the video prompt, I mentioned in a single shot to stop any cuts, zoom out to reveal the monster on this television. So that way we make sure it zooms out to see a TV with the monster on there, and then the monster starts climbing out of television. And it worked pretty well. So any kind of pass through or zoom in type transition can be made in this way. It really comes down to your imagination and simply explaining it well. Now this all extends to UI style animation as well, where you can have a UI image and then you can ask to edit the angle, and you can change and add labels to each part of the car, and it can source these for you. And that way you're going from one image to the next, you get a nice little zoom, a nice bit of change, and then the video prompt, you simply describe that again. Zoom in slowly in the computer screen. The display slowly and smoothly rotates the car on the road, and animation labels for the part of the car animate and appear on screen. So you can see how just about anything you can think of or describe with that movement, as long as it's not too crazy, can work out pretty well. but you can still push the limits of this model. For example, I have this Volkswagen image, which I asked to basically change into a Porsche from 2020, and I didn't want the car to morph. I asked for the red Volkswagen to mechanically transform with parts moving and shifting. The more descriptive you get about the way it animates, the closer it will be. And at the end, I put until it becomes a red Porsche, just to kind of give that final description of where it should land, and we got this. But I wondered if it would still actually transform into a robot, considering there's new restrictions on Seedance, but it seemed to work out pretty well. I asked to zoom out 50% and change the car into a robot that resembles the car. Again, I want it to look a bit more like a transformer, so I had parts of the car up to a mech-style robot warrior with an evil face and a glowing red visor. And also the robot should be at least twice as tall as the car, otherwise it might end up being the same size. And then also remove the car, so it doesn't have the robot and the car in there. And again, a nice simple prompt, and because we described how we wanted the parts to move and shift, we got this video, which I think turned out pretty well. Now, I'm not just suggesting you use these particular shots, but I've deliberately sort of highlighted the ingredients: the camera movement, zooming in or out, changing angle, lighting, changing the lighting. Anything to do with setting up a shot can be changed. But on top of that, you can then start to move through your environment, like that dynamic transition, or animate certain objects within your scene by describing the detail of the animation and making sure you put things in order. So if there's something you want to see, make sure you list it in that order, so that way it doesn't sort of meld them all together. So use this as a guide and a way of thinking to generate dynamic shots within Seedance, and use Nano Banana 2 to set those shots up. Now, with everything we've touched on so far, we've looked at start and end frame videos primarily, but Seedance 2 also has some multimodal references. That means when you create a video, you can upload several different images or videos or even audio files to use as references within your videos. So now when you start looking at that, combining that with Nano Banana 2, you have some much more powerful techniques you can follow to really take more control over your AI videos. So coming into design, I have this image I generated with Nano Banana 2. You can see it's show a gorilla talking, wearing a Hawaiian shirt and hat. If I want to use that as a multimodal reference, I can come down to where it says start and end frame and choose reference. Now to start off with, I can just simply type up a simple text prompt for my video. But instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to media and add in this gorilla talking. And I can actually use this for lip sync by going to add media, dragging in this audio file, which sounds like this. Welcome to Egypt in the year 3000. And then when I'm ready, I add in my prompt. Show the gorilla from image 1 talking. Lip sync the audio from audio 1. Keep the audio from audio 1 identical and don't change the voice or dialogue in any way. Now, this doesn't always work. It will often change the dialogue slightly, but I also need to make sure I set up my aspect ratio, so 16:9. Since I'm using Seedance Fast, we only have up to 720p, but I'm going to render, bring it down to 4 seconds, and submit that video.
Welcome to Egypt in the year 3000.
Notice how the voice did change slightly. That is something to consider when using Seedance for lip sync. But just remember, Dzine AI does have a lot of lip sync tools here that work quite well. So if you weren't getting what you wanted, you also have those tools as backup. But it does a pretty decent job with the lip movement in this video. But I can also use this for motion reference. So what I can do is take a video just like this one, which is just a simple drone shot, combine it with this image. And as you can see, adding the video is quite simple. I can just go add media, and as before, drag my video in. So we have our image and our video. And then I type up a simple prompt. Create a drone shot of a futuristic city like image 1. As a motion reference, animate it to match the movement in video 1. So again, I can add in those references, and they're not start and end frames, but once I set up my resolution, I can submit that video and it will reference that motion with the image we used as a reference. It doesn't even need to be that complicated. For one, I can use Nano Banana 2 to create a comic just like this. And the prompt was create a 5-panel comic of a man punching a boxing bag that bursts in the final panel. Highly detailed modern action comic style. And then when I come back to design, I've added it in as a reference, and I've simply said turn this comic into an animated shot. Refer to each frame of this comic for the action, dialogue, and plot. And it's pretty straightforward. Once again, I set up my resolution. It goes 720p and make it a little bit longer. And when I submit that, we get this.
More round! Gotta hit harder. Breakthrough.
Which is pretty true to the comic we created. Copies the dialogue, the action, and of course the bag bursting at the end. Now, if you have something with a little bit more dynamic motion, like our original video of the cyberpunk pyramids, it can be useful to use that for a different video. So I'm going to come in, and with Nano Banana 2, I'm going to say, create a shot of the pyramids of Giza back when they were first built with an ancient city in the distance. Set my aspect ratio, submit, and we get this image, which looks pretty good. Now I have my image created. I can go into my video section. Again, I switch to reference, add in the pyramid image, and then I can actually drag and drop in that video. And now I'm going to type in my prompt. Create a video flying past the pyramids in image 1 and weaving in and out of them and the buildings to match the motion in vid 1. Keeping in mind that this is framed up a little bit different than the actual video we've supplied. So it'd be interesting to see how Seedance actually handles this image with Nano Banana, which I do like the fact that they are white, just as they supposedly were back when they were first built. I'm going to change it to 16:9, and I'm going to keep it at 480p to show you just how that looks as well. I'm going to submit it, and it still does a pretty amazing job and doesn't look too bad for 480p. Now, if you're looking for a little bit more control, I do have a few tips that can actually help you when you're using these tools. Starting off with Nano Banana 2, you don't have to use these tips all the time, but they can help as you go. And the first tip is to actually set the aspect ratio that you intend your video to be set to. Be ready to submit and make adjustments many times, as you won't always get what you want in the first try. And for results that are close, edit the new image instead of trying again. Sometimes you'll need to describe twice to reinforce your changes. An example of that is to change to a high angle shot to look down on the person. But for small changes, add in, keep the rest of the layout and scene identical, as sometimes the entire scene can change. And by doing this, you can focus on just changing that one small detail. Whereas Seedance 2, we have some very similar tips, especially when using images, you get a bit more control. But on top of that, you want to make sure that you are ready to submit and adjust many times, because sometimes, again, you won't get what you want the first try. But if you want to avoid cuts mentioned in a single shot, and sometimes removing the end frame and prompting actually works better, and describe your animations in detail to make sure you get exactly what you want, and also give your instructions chronological order to follow, as it can help produce a better video. But also you can use timestamps. Mention what second in the video you want each thing to happen. That is something else you can experiment with, and it seems to work reasonably well. But there is one shortcoming, that is that it's difficult to use images of photorealistic people within Seedance, so you will generally have to actually create those with a text prompt. So you can see how actually combining these two tools, if you understand what they're capable of and how you can kind of feed one into the other, you could basically create almost anything with AI video when using Nano Banana 2 and Seedance 2. Now, I've used Dzine AI for this video, so I highly recommend checking them out. Remember, there's a link in the description below. So otherwise, check that out, have a bit of a play, see if you can get the same results out of these techniques as well. But otherwise, that's the video for today, guys. I hope you found it useful, and if you did, please consider giving the video a like. Otherwise, hope to see you again soon. Have a great day, and thanks for watching.